I remember when it first came out, not the bleh. Can you not? Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Alright, and I will preface this with saying you are going to see me in this form in exactly another Will I Buy It, because today I am addressing the stuff that I asked you all in my community tab to be like, hey, what products are you interested in wondering if I buy or not? And I thought I would be like, okay, well I can address all that and then throw in some like other things that I just, you know, came across, popped up on Trendmood that I got some thoughts on. But y'all came through with a really big amount of products, so we're gonna be doing this Will I Buy It, and then there's gonna be another Will I Buy It, probably pretty close together, so definitely stick around for that, because y'all are gonna get your Will I Buy It fill from Soraya. Before we completely go into it, I'm gonna be giving credit where credit is due, because that's what I do. The Will I Buy It idea phenomena was created by Samantha March, which is procking off of the anti-haul that was created by Amber's Beauty Chair and then popularized by Kimberly Clark. I will leave all of their channels linked down below. Alright, and since there are so many things, I am just gonna go right in. The first one was the Colourpop Festival collection. Now, I will say right off the bat, y'all, well, at least some of y'all know that I am not a pressed glitter fan, so those pressed glitters are just, those are gonna be a hard pass for me. However, those like single neon pigment colors look so beautiful, so a la Urban Decay Electric palette, just look so pretty, and the bright packaging and everything, it is just very aesthetically pleasing. And then also in the collection, or at least something that I was kind of drawn to, which is funny because I like anti-hauled the whole like original launch of these, and those are those like So Juicy whatever 90s tube glosses, but those look so nice. I have really been enjoying like a nice fruity, juicy, glossy lip, so I am very interested and intrigued at some point, somewhat soon. I'm going to be like making an order from Colourpop, so if some of that stuff is still available, I will be putting into my cart and clicking that checkout button. And just kind of keeping in the Colourpop theme, a couple of y'all asked, they were like, okay, well, what's your thoughts on that Colourpop Disney Villains thing? Now, aesthetically, I mean, I do love girly Disney princesses, Belle, Beauty and the Beast, all that jazz. But I love me a good Disney villain, and the whole like neon light outline thing going on is just, it's just so, once again, it's so aesthetically pleasing. I don't know if I talked about an anti-haul or not, and there are some things in here that I have talked about in previous anti-hauls. Will I buy it? I will leave those linked below. Because a part of me is like, well, this is obviously a limited edition job. I'm not getting the eyeshadow palette because it's a limited edition all shimmer situation. I'm just not about that. But yeah, girl is seriously tempted by the glosses, which I've heard wonderful things from my gal Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. She says they are top notch. You guys know this is coming. Those highlighters, I mean, there is a part of me, there is an excessive consumerist within me, hiding within all of my savagery, that would really, really like to own the whole range of the Colourpop Disney Villain highlighters. I mean, from a highlighter standpoint, from a collector standpoint, from a Disney Villain person standpoint, I'm kind of wanting that. But you guys know I have been trying to be less excessive in the spending, but I would like to pick up at least one or two, maybe some of my favorite villains, which are honestly all of them. But we will just have to see. This is a limited edition collection. I don't know if when money comes my way, if they will still be available. We will just have to see. Then going into something I feel has been like really popping up, and this is kind of like we're gonna kind of do like an overarching thing, but a couple of you all mentioned interest in that. I think the brand is Glamlight, but that burger palette. Because I know there's another brand that's coming out with like a milkshake, and then we got like a cookie one, and we just got all kinds of food themed palettes. But if I'm not mistaken, this burger palette is done by the same people that did that whole like pizza palette that Jeffree Star approved and everyone went all crazy for it. I did want this. This is, I'm filming this after it has released. I didn't check. I'm pretty sure it's sold out, but I was very much drawn to the color scheme. It's got some really pretty greens going on up in there and some other things, and I'm just kind of like, that's really pretty. Obviously, I don't know as of yet because I don't know whether it's available or not. I have no idea if it's limited edition, but it is something that I did have interest in purchasing and reviewing for y'all, but at the time of release, we didn't have the money. And let's quickly touch on a couple products that are things that I already talked about in other Will I Buy It's. Like I said, those corresponding ones will be linked below so you can get kind of a more in-depth whatever about them. I'm just kind of lightly touch on them here. The first of which being the Urban Decay Game of Thrones whole big jing set. From a artistic point of view, from a collector point of view, as well as from a makeup point of view, I am like not really interested in this at all. I was not a fan of how the eyeshadow palette was designed. It's this big, giant trunk show of a thing that they do. They've done it with the Alice in Wonderland a couple of times. I feel like it's just this big, giant packaging Iron Throne phenomena with some semi-interesting subpar shades thrown in there. Then the highlighter palette, which has like a goldy champagne, a pink, and a goldy bronze, which one of you all aptly stated that this highlighter palette looks like every other highlighter palette from Urban Decay, which isn't wrong. Got the lipsticks. I don't do bullet lipsticks some more. The eye pencils. You got them brushes for like $28 each. It's gonna be a no. I've had a couple of you all in that Will I Buy It be like, well, I'm gonna get it. I'm a hardcore Game of Thrones fan. I'm really whatever to it. And I'm like, that is great. You do you. Definitely let us know if it's good. If I'm totally talking out of my butt and I have no idea, let us know down below. Is it just like a packaging ploy of like, look at all this awesomeness, and then, you know, we're just gonna throw some kind of eyeshadows in it? Because obviously the hype and the whatever is, I feel like, the main marketing behind this. Let's keep it real. But definitely let me know for any of y'all who did snag that. Then something that my opinion has kind of changed on since I did my Will I Buy It. Because in that Will I Buy It, I said, girl is gonna say no. And that is that Natasha Denona Bloom and Glow blush palette. Y'all, this thing is so gorgeous. If this had been a 4-pan powder palette phenomena, it would have been mine in a heartbeat the moment it released. The packaging, the colors, the tones, the aesthetic, everything is just super stunning. And I have had some of y'all in that video and kind of past then have told me that it is something that I need to try. Now y'all know I'm usually not a cream product person fan. I don't know if it's because I'm lazy and not talented enough with my makeups or something. I've got dry skin, and usually people with drier complexions are more akin to liquid and cream products. So this may be something that I decide to kind of pick up and try it. I mean, if I don't like it, I can return it. We'll have to see. Since filming that Will I Buy It, I am kind of now leaning more toward, well, I want to try it. And I can always tell myself, if it doesn't work, you can take it back. And keeping on the Natasha Denona, one of y'all asked about the Natasha Denona, her little mini. She came out with a new Bronze and Glow. I'm gonna be real with y'all for a second. I absolutely love Natasha Denona's face products, formulas. Her blushes and her highlighters are two of my end-all, be-all, holy grail formulas. And I've seen these. She's got two of the like blush and glow ones, like little minis that are $19, and the pans are like the size of an eyeshadow. I'm kind of not a fan of that, just because when I do highlight, well, more when I do my blush, I'm using a big old fat fluffy brush. But in my heart of hearts, I do kind of really want these, all of them. I have heard some of you all say that the highlighters in there are very conducive to hard pan, which is, I really take hard pan personally, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen there. And so I'm kind of on the fence right now. This is something I really would want to go into store and really swatch them. I've heard people say that the blushes are absolutely beautiful. If it's the same as her normal blush formula, I can vouch for that. But like I said, this is really something I would want to go in and get my hands on to really be, all right, well, how hard pan are the highlighters? You know, try them out with the brush or something like that to see what's happening. So for now, we're kind of at like a midpoint. Then something, another thing that I talked about in another Will I Buy It, which is we just addressing all the products, are the Lime Crime new blushes. Now, I was very much, this was kind of like that middle ground again, on the fence, but leaning towards trying a few, because y'all know I love a lot of Lime Crime products. Y'all know I love me a crazy weird blush, and they came out with like 20 shades. But it's like a cream to powder formula, and like we said a little bit ago, I am not a cream product fan. But they did just recently release a brush, and I'm like, if this product works with a brush, I'm gonna buy that brush, and I'm gonna buy that product, and I'm gonna use it. So I am definitely, this is another thing where it's like, when the money comes in, I may get them for like doing trying a full face of like new makeup. I may be picking up some of these things to kind of do that kind of thing, where it's like, you know, not just buying because I want it, but because I'm putting in a video, or both. So it's multifaceted. But I am definitely very interested in trying those, because if it is my main problem with cream products is you can't use them with, well, you can use them with brushes, but I'm not very skilled. But if this is a formula that's specifically meant to be used with a brush, even if I have to buy their brush, I'm totally down with trying them. I mean, could you imagine that like greeny one with like a beautiful bright peach eye look, and then like And I think 2 or 3 of you all were like, girl, I want to hear your opinion on that Black Moon Cosmetics Black Metals palette. And I was all like, I did not even know that was a thing. And thanks to y'all, now that I know it's a thing, I know it's something I want to get. I remember when their other palette came out, that all matte one, I really wanted that because I wanted to try the Black Moon Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. But it was, I think it was like $52 or something dollars. And it basically, to me, looks like the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. But I will say this whole like black metals palette is definitely something where I'm kind of like, gonna have to snag me that, and if I do, y'all will see a review of it on my channel. Another palette that is something that I would like to try out and maybe have on my channel, or maybe do like a full face or something, first impressions of a bunch of like indie makeup. Because a lot of y'all have actually expressed an interest and a desire for me to review and to try out a lot more indie makeup, because in kind of the influx and the insurgence of all the makeup, the, you know, higher end or the more mainstream brands are becoming a lot less reliable, and they're becoming to the point where they're not the only things on the market. There are a bunch of more affordable brands or indie brands that are producing really great products. And so I am definitely 100% down to try more indie brands. This palette it is beautiful. I have heard some really good things about it from some other fellow YouTubers. So that is definitely something that I will be wanting to like just dip my fingers in. Like, there's so many, like, especially if some of y'all I know already do, but if any of y'all are subscribed to Spooky Lips and Fat Hips or follow her on Instagram, she is always posting these gorgeous pictures from these palettes from these, you know, indie brands, and I'm like, I didn't even know they existed. I didn't know I need that palette, but now I do. I definitely recommend checking her out and following her Instagram, because she is so inspiring when it comes to like broadening your makeup horizons. I'm just like, you do you, girl, you do you. Then another This is just, all right, the IT Cosmetics foundation, Confidence in a Foundation. This is coming from a standpoint of, well, not necessarily that I don't want to try the foundation. It's more coming from the fact that IT Cosmetics is really one of those brands that I have made up my mind about not wanting to support on my channel. I understand they have a lot of great products. They had 2 blushes from them that I absolutely love that I decluttered. They are really one of those, I mean, I understand a lot of brands get this kind of crap, like any brand. I feel like, let's get real for a minute. I feel like any brand that says anything about being inclusive or how important inclusivity is, and then they come out with a range that doesn't make everyone happy, they then get put on blast for being like, well, you wanted talking about inclusivity, but your foundation range didn't have as many shades as Fenty. And I'm honestly a little bit tired of brands, when they are actually trying to be more inclusive, getting crucified for not having as many shades or undertones as Fenty. I'm like, that's great, that's great. Fenty has all the shades, but their foundation don't work on dry skin. But IT Cosmetics, I feel like, is not a brand that is actually trying to expand their color range. They're like, let's cater to the, you know, middle upper class white woman, and that just really isn't anything that I am here about. So it's not necessarily from the foundation point of view. It's more just from the, you know, I'm not supporting their brand view, which I will be doing at some point, a video talking about brands I no longer support. All right, then kind of just these last 2 things. One of you all asked about Beauty Bakery's lip whips. Beauty Bakery is another one of those like brands where I really want to try a lot of things from, where I like, oh, look at their eyeshadows. Oh, look at their highlighters. Oh, look at I really want to try their like satin bacon whatever powder. And their lipsticks have been something that I'm like, ooh, I should try that. That looks like a fun formula, you know? They're just not something that I've like really bit the bullet on, because your girl's got lots of lip products. I am trying to be better about that whole not just buying everything because I want it. That is a reoccurring theme. So I would like to try some stuff from Beauty Bakery, included those. Now, I have heard good things from several YouTubers and several Instagrammers who really like the formula, so there is that. Okay, then the last thing that one of you all asked about was the BH Cosmetics Zodiac Love palette. Now, I will admit, right off the bat, this thing does look beautiful. It's not really a revolutionary color story. I honestly feel that BH Cosmetics is kind of beating that whole Zodiac theme a little bit to death. Not so much with this, but more with those like little palettes they were releasing that's like, look, 10 shades of brown. But I am super tempted to get that one and then like the original one. Part of the main reason why I haven't is because I know they're like huge and your girl is running out of space as we speak. But I could potentially do like a compare and contrast between the original Zodiac one and then the Signs one and kind of be like, which one do I think is better, or more, you know, which one would be a better choice. So if that's a video y'all would be interested in seeing, definitely let me know down below. But that is all the things that y'all asked about. Definitely let me know what other y'all feel about these. If you have them, you don't have them. I mean, you guys definitely know the drill by now. I hope I was able to answer some of y'all's, you know, questions and whatever's inquiries about these products. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!